Today we're going to cover eccentric overload training. This is an intensity technique that I use myself a lot. I also incorporate it with all my clients. It has practical applications from everyone from a beginner to even more advanced. And so what this is basically choosing a weight that is really heavy for you, something that you can't perform any full repetitions with on your own. Typically during the lift, we're doing the concentric portion, we're a lot weaker than we're doing the eccentric. We're typically about 30% stronger eccentrically when they're lengthening the muscle under tension. So if we can overload that portion of the repetition, we do get some benefits. Typically during the eccentric load, that's when most of the muscular damage is occurring, which is a precursor for hypertrophy, a really important component for that. We also tend to get better neural control, better motor control. You tend to get better at the movement you're doing. You also tend to get improvements in mobility. You're lengthening that muscle under tension, you're getting better joint stability. A lot of positive things can come from it that really increase your strength and your size, both of them. So I'm going to cover a couple of the ways that I like to do it and how to apply it, because there's a couple different ways to apply it. So typically what you might see is eccentric overload training where it's just that by itself. So what I mean by that is typically you pick a heavy weight, like I said, that you can't control any reps on your own with, and then you do the eccentric portion for about 3 to 8 reps only. Okay, you don't want to really go high volume on this. You could throw the eccentric overload at the end as kind of a drop set. So what I mean by this is maybe you're using a weight that you can handle on your own pretty easily. So you're doing preacher curls, and then at a certain point you start to hit failure, so you help yourself out a little bit. That's how you can add it to get a little bit more out of the drop set. So depending on where you implement it, you're going to get different benefits. When you do it that way, you're going to get more of the benefits of like different metabolic stress, increase cellular volume, getting more blood flow. When you really overload it in the beginning or by itself, you tend to get more of the muscular damage, more of the muscle tears. So you could do it separate at the end of a workout or at the end of a rep, end of a set. You could do an overload negative there, tack it on for 4 to 8 reps, or you could do it at the beginning and then go into a normal set. So a lot of different ways to implement it. I'm going to show you kind of my favorite ways to do it. Okay, so basically when you're trying to do an overload negative, you have a couple different ways to do it. One is to have a partner. So with a partner, it's really easy to overload any negative. So what I mean by that is, so you're doing bench press, they help you lift it up a lot, and you control it down. Typically, we're always going to go for about 3 to 4 seconds on the eccentric. You want to go a little slower than you normally would during a normal rep tempo. Partners can help you with all kinds of things. So if you have a partner assisting you, you can do a lot of things eccentrically overloaded that you can't do on your own. You just have them spot you. You have them pull. Like say you're doing like a high hammer row, just have them push on the way down, and then you control it up. So it's really easy to do that if you have a partner. But if you don't have a partner, you can still get a lot of benefits from this if you do it on your own. So I'm going to show you the ways to do it on your own that I like. So one way is to think of cheating. So you can always cheat to get an eccentric overload. So we kind of talked about the preacher curl. I'll show you that real quick. The concentration curl. So let's say I'm using a weight that's really heavy that I can't really perform any reps on my own. I can just simply help myself get it up and then keep it controlled on the way down for about 4 seconds. Really easy. So that's one that I probably do more often than any, is the overloaded eccentric concentration curl. You can also do any kind of a cheat, like you could do a military press where you add some hips and squat into it and then control it down. You could do the same thing with like flies, control it down. Another one that I do really common with my clients is a jump pull. A lot of my females especially don't have the ability to do many pull-ups on their own, so we could just do a simple jump pull-up where you cheat to get up and then you control it down. And then once we get to the bottom, we kind of reset. So those are some different ways to implement eccentric overload through a cheating mechanism. Another really easy way to do it on your own is by starting with a bilateral movement and moving it to a unilateral movement. So this is really easy for machines. So you're doing a leg curl, leg extension, do the concentric portion with both legs, do the eccentric portion with just one leg. Really easy way to do that. You can also do it really simply. Like I have some ways I implement this with clients that are a little bit more in the beginner range. They get some good benefits from it. One thing that I like to do often is a single leg squat. And so a lot of times people don't have the ability to do this on the way up, but you can essentially overload down and then we can just stand up from there. So this has a lot of benefits for the general population. Not so much bodybuilding protocols necessarily. Another one I'll do with clients often might be just like a calf raise, real easy, where you go up with both and then down, load with that other. Up with both and load with the other. Something that I've been doing recently is I've been playing with the single leg deadlift version of this. And so what I'll do is I'll do a stiff leg unilaterally, real controlled, and then just come back up with both of them. We're going back down. So you can cheat to get that eccentric overload. You can go like unilateral, bilateral combined to do that. A couple other ways to do that would be to kind of use a mechanical advantage to do the concentric portion. So what I mean by that is we could try something like, I'll show you something like on the TRX really often, that I do this a lot when I'm trying to hit rear delts. It is like a row to a fly. So I'm strong enough to do a row from here, but a fly, I get kind of funky. I start compensating using a lot of traps. If I want to keep tension on the delts a little bit more, I can do that if I could just do the eccentric portion, but I can't get myself up like that. So I have a lot of clients simply do a row and then push out. It's an easy fly. Right there. Really easy. Row control. Another kind of example I've been playing with a lot of this is a stiffer leg deadlift to a more bending deadlift. So I do this when I really want to overload the stretch position, get a little more hamstrings involved. So let's say this is, really heavy weight that I couldn't properly concentrically lift stiff leg style. You can go real stiff, real controlled on the way down if you set the rack the right height. And once you hit the bottom, you can come down and do more of a traditional dead to get it up. So real control down, drop, reset, traditional dead up. So these are all things I do myself pretty often or with my clients. One more that I incorporate sometimes would be an overloaded eccentric for my triceps. And so sometimes, especially these overloaded ones, I might do this as part of like a drop set. So I might start, like the way I'm overloaded, I might come up the same way. So I might start with straight legs up and down, and as I'm getting real fatigued, I might switch it to deadlifts up and then just straight leg down. So same thing with this, I might just do normal tricep skull crushers, extensions, until I get fatigued. And then when I'm out of gas, I might not get any more juice on the concentric, but I can really control the negative, pull into a press. So I'm using a mechanical advantage to get it back up into position. So a little bit of activation on the way up, but we're getting most of it out of that negative. And finally, the other way I can think of that I like to implement this would be the overloaded negative portion only. And so for this, let me show you a couple methods I like. But again, you can do this a lot of different ways. If you have a partner, you can do it too. Sometimes with my clients, I'll control the whole concentric portion down, like on a pull down. I'll pull it all the way down for them, just to have them control it up on their own. But if you're by yourself, there's a couple things that I like to do. For regression, something I had clients do when they're, in the more beginning stages might be just a simple push-up. So a lot of people do push-ups from their knees. That gives you some benefits, but if you can control the eccentric, I like to do eccentric overloaded push-ups a lot. So you're just controlling it down. If you don't have the strength to get up, you just go to the knees and come back up. So essentially you're removing that whole concentric portion of the movement and just doing the negative. Something more advanced that I do, and again, a lot of times I'll do this at the tail end. So if you don't have like a whole lot of core strength, this is gonna be really tough and you might just do this and this is the whole set. But if you have a lot of core strength, you can modify, you can do normal, and then as you get really fatigued, you can take away the concentric and do a negative only. So we're gonna do a standing ab wheel. So I might be able to come down and really load it, and maybe I need to come back up to that up position. I can't quite get up. But like I said, a lot of times I'll start with the full one, and then when I hit real fatigue, I'll try to get more out of the negative, and then just reset. Another one I like to use a lot is the glute ham, because this is a really tough exercise to do perfect. Concentrically is really tough to do with good form. So I have some clients that can really get some benefits out of this. They can do the eccentric portion and just take away that concentric. So we'll keep the hips in, we'll come down, we'll control, and then from there, we can just kind of reset. So these are a couple of the ones that I do most often, but there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Some machines will lend themselves to be able to do this too. Like I know a hoist chest press, it has like a foot position thing that you can hit and you can help push it out, you can control it back on your own. A lot of different methods to do it. And I would say I incorporate this, at least some form of it, every workout, because like I said, there's some really good advantages, especially if it's a really good stretched position. Because like I said, that overloaded stretch position is going to give you the most benefits out of any part of the lift. So give some of these a shot. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions at all, just let me know.